Hello everybody, thank you so much for joining me. So I'm here in my glasses today. I'm going to do a glasses makeup look. The reason why is because I've still got kind of this redness over here on this eye that you may have seen creeping in on my last video, and I was prescribed some eye drops. Doctor does not think it is pink eye. It hasn't created any sort of discharge or any runniness at all, and just the look of it, it's either caused by an allergy, they think, or like just something got in there at the time that I put my contacts in last, and things kind of got irritated. So I've been able to take a couple doses so far, the prescription eye drop, and I do think it's helping. Like, I don't have really the feeling of soreness around the eye. So here we are, and I still want to do my makeup, and it is going to turn out to be a really light look as far as the eye makeup goes, because, you know, I just don't want to irritate things further and get a lot going on there. But I've got a plan for a look that I think is going to enhance the features of the face even with the glasses on, and also be long wear and not something where I feel any need to touch up and, you know, get my glasses off and then do stuff with it. I kind of might be this far from my mirror as I do some of my steps just so I can see. But this is my L'Oreal True Match Nude. It's the hyaluronic tinted serum. I love this stuff. At the time of first getting this, I think I sort of deviated a little bit and had some other things to try, but I do really love that. I don't love the way the dropper works because it kind of doesn't, but I just kind of slap it on that way. And the thing about it is, you might think, well, that's going to be the type of product that turns out really dewy and tacky on the skin, and it doesn't. Like, I think it's one of my better staying power things, actually. And it's not super dewy. The skin looks beautiful once it's on, but it's not like in a tacky way. And that kind of surprised me at first. But it's a beautiful product, and I think deserving of all the buzz it's been getting. Oh, and I wear that in the shade 2-3 light. If something's not blended perfectly, just give me a little grace today, okay? The funny thing is, when the camera may have me in focus, I'm still not seeing it perfectly in focus. It's a little blurry to me, but I've got all that blended in. And then what I want to do is make sure my under eye area is nice and brightened, because sometimes, you know, you've got that extra layer between you and the world, you know, those glasses. And in my opinion, I think it's nice to be extra brightened there so there isn't any sort of shadowed look on your under eye. I'm going to use a couple of things. First, my Smashbox and Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector. Thank goodness, you know, they found a way to bring this back. This is so creamy and hydrating, and it just brightens like none other in that inner corner. So I'm going to first apply that, and then I'm just going to go on with my concealer, and it's all going to blend in together. This is my One Size in Fair 3. This is a shade that I know turns out to be extra brightening on me. I also love the coverage, the consistency, everything. And we'll do a couple little dots of that. Also got a little teensy zit right there. We'll brighten up here. And I'm just going to start with my Real Techniques Expert Face Brush, getting everything worked in. What are your tips and tricks if you're a glasses wearer and you have to put your makeup on and not have your glasses on, of course? How do you see? Maybe magnification is a good thing. At this range, I'm fine, but right even about here, I'm like, getting blurry. I need to hit this inner corner. I pulled out, when I was redoing my brush storage, the Sigma P84. That was always a brush I really liked for concealer. And that so easily gets right in this inner corner, right up in there. We're all blended in, but we're also really, I think, brightened up as well. Then I'm just going to use a little Rimmel Stay Matte powder. I wear the shade Sandstorm with my e.l.f. small tapered brush, and I'm going to dab that over to set everything. So I have a nice uniform consistency on the T-zone. I really want to set the nose because that's where your glasses sit. And sometimes it can be tricky when those little pads just sit right there on your nose and you're trying to have good staying power, but I think the powder will help that. Oh, and someone said they're discontinuing the small tapered brush, to which I say, why? That's silly. But also, they do have a brush called the highlighter brush that, as I recall, it's almost the exact same shape and size. I've ordered one to be sure, but yeah, that's no good. This is just a classic brush for me. I use it every day. When I can't see that well, I would say I'm gonna go for a bronzer that's really easy for me. Just one that's maybe on a little more subtle side, but it just goes on effortlessly. To me, that is the Hourglass Diffused Bronze Light. It's kind of a softer bronzer, but like I can put it on and I don't need to feel super scared about where it's going or, you know, whether I blended it out perfectly, because it kind of just blends itself. Sorry, I got cut off there, but I think I was just talking about how easy this bronzer is. And there's kind of like, I think, some muscle memory as well. Like, even if I had no mirror, which that might be a fun challenge sometime, one of those old school challenges that I never did back in the past. But I think there's some muscle memory in that your hand kind of knows where to go and what to do. It's done it so many times, especially if you handed a product that can't be steered too wrong, you know. Okay, so I've got my bronzer on. Blush, that's going to be an important step I wouldn't want to skip. And I'm going to use my Bombina palette, and I'm going to use the Will Powder shade right here. So kind of this pretty, like, a little bit berry type of color. Let's get that blended in so beautifully. I really could have used the bronzer in this palette too had I been thinking about it at the time, because that one works well also. But I am going to use the Let's Bolt highlight. This is so pretty. It's one that I buff into the skin. It looks kind of goldeny when you get just a streak of it on, but then you buff it in and the surface of the skin looks so pretty. Okay, is this blended? Next up, I'm going to put on one of my very best setting sprays for staying power, and that is Urban Decay All Nighter. So I'm just going to do a few mists of that. And then we're moving on to eyebrows. I'm going to use my e.l.f. Instant Lift Brow Pencil. I wear this in the shade Neutral Brown, and this is just a great little standard brow pencil. Easy to use. I like the texture, the consistency of the pencil. It's not too soft, not too firm, but the color really lays down well. And it's not the skinniest of the skinny. I always say this, but you know, you never know who's tuning in and hasn't been watching forever. It's not as skinny as ABH Brow Wiz and all those. But so far, as you can see, the makeup routine has really been fairly standard as far as what I would normally do. I just really purposely wanted, eyebrow hair. I really wanted to make sure my under eyes stayed nice and bright. And the other day I used my Cali Ray mascara, and that was all I had on as far as the eyes. And it wore so well, and it held the curl so well. I was so happy with that. Okay, so brows are filled in. It may not be perfect, but it's there. And then my Brow Fast Sculpt in medium brown to just kind of fluff them up and get them standing where they should be. For the eyes, they're going to be really, really minimal. I am going to use just a little bit of Milani eyeshadow primer, and I want to do something that's going to be a little bit light and reflective on the lid, so that when I have my mascara on, which I'm not going to go in and do liner, I'm not going to do any kind of tugging step. I'm going to be really, really gentle with the eyes in case this is all caused by some kind of like injury to the eye or, you know, something like that. I really want to be minimal here, but I'm going to take just this light shimmery shade from the Persona 1 palette. It's called Sassy, and I'm just going to use that, guys, all over the lid, okay? And I feel like once the mascara gets on, it's going to be a nice, like, sort of contrast. Okay, so nice and light, that's literally all I'm gonna do. And then really the biggest thing for me is just lashes that stay curled. And this Cali Ray stuff, the Come Hell or High Water mascara, I've already ordered one for my mom. I love the way it wears. I love the look. It's pretty easy to take off, like no complaints. It's doing great. So first off, get them nice and curled because this is gonna last. And I love this brush too. It's like shorter bristles. And this is really going to show off, I think, the nice length of lashes I'm dealing with now thanks to Grande Lash. They're really doing awesome because this is going to hold the curl up in place. I was shocked, honestly, like, because it shows so much when you don't do anything else to your eye and you're just doing mascara. You glance at yourself in the mirror and you can really see whether that curl has held or not. It's completely obvious. And this really did. Until I took it off. Check that out, you guys. I'm not even going to do anything with the lowers. Not because I'm concerned about this wearing well, because I know it will wear well there. But I do have eye drops to put in, and I just don't need to have anything on there if things get a little runny, you know. This mascara is truly outstanding. Now, if you didn't have like an eye problem, you're still a glasses wearer, but you're not because of a certain like eye issue, you could go on and do your eyeliner and, you know, doll this up however you want, apply some extra shadow. I'm just trying to keep what I do pretty minimal right now, and I just feel like that mascara is doing amazing. So the finishing touch to my glasses eye look would be definitely a pronounced lip. I think that makes everything look so finished and pulled together. Sometimes the eyes can get a little bit lost, you know, behind the glasses, but we've got our skin evened out, and then a nice semi-bold lip I think looks really pretty. So I pulled out my ColourPop Just a Tint in Treasure Island because I was just kind of looking at my sweatshirt I had on today and I thought that would be a pretty pairing. Oh, I love the way these smell. Also, you know, pretty low fuss to put on. Really kind of feels like a lip balm. What I need is a really good berry Super Stay Matte ink crayon because I don't think I have one. Got that on. Get the glasses on. Sorry for all that glare on the glasses, but guys, I feel good in this makeup look and I feel finished, I feel pulled together, and I think that's kind of what it's all about. You know, not every look has to be your most glam or, you know, your biggest statement, but I got to do my makeup, which is my happy time, and I got to do something that works for my condition currently, so that works for me. Hopefully this gave you a few ideas if you're in the same boat or you just, you know, generally a glasses wearer and you like to hear about things from that perspective. I'm not sure what my next video is going to be, you guys. Hopefully things start to clear up soon, but thank you so much for taking time to watch and support my channel, regardless of whether I'm in my glasses or not, and I will see you again very soon. I love you. Bye.